Well, it wasn't enough that the mainstream media last week attacked Johnny Depp, went after him in every way they could because they were so incensed. You have all these prestige media outlets, a number of them at con, right? The BBC, AP, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and a bunch of others. And they're there at con, and they are absolutely incensed that not only is Johnny Depp being welcomed back, generally speaking, with open arms, but his film was allowed to headline Cannes Film Festival. So Cannes Film Festival provided him with a huge forum for a huge comeback. And that's exactly what it was. And I don't care how many things the media find to nitpick him about and critique him about and wring their hands over and clutch their pearls about. It was a tremendous triumph. But of course, they were intent last week on going after him, attacking him in every way possible, just to try to tear him down and just besmirch this wonderful triumphant return that Johnny Depp had. And so, of course, it was, oh, he was 20 minutes late to the press conference. He just, in the movie Jean de Barry, he just sits around looking bored the whole time. Never mind the fact that that was exactly the character of the guy he was playing. Yes, Louis XV. Sit around looking bored a lot. And I've seen some scenes from the film, and it's very obvious that Johnny Depp is a great actor, and he pulls off that role very well, as he always does. All of his hand-wringing, and oh, the director may win. She's got this shady history. And then there was all of the hubbub over his teeth. My God, we've just never seen an actor before, apparently, with cigarette and coffee stained and red wine stained teeth. We've just never seen it before, apparently. I mean, my God, you're in France. Look, the whole history of French actors is people with stained teeth. They're all smoking those cigarettes and stuff. Have you seen Alain Delon's teeth? The most beautiful man that's ever lived. Have you seen his teeth? Okay. So shut the fuck up about Johnny Depp's teeth. But my whole point with this video is that apparently it's not enough for the media to go after Depp. And by the way, to you losers in whatever movie that was that you were trying to get extra PR for by wearing ridiculous shirts with pictures of Amber Heard on them, I hope you know that to everyone else in the world, except for a few crazed Amber Heard fans online, Sturgis, Strigeti, or whatever, and then, of course, the mainstream media simps, to everyone else in the world, you looked absolutely ridiculous. Those shirts weren't even well done either. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, at least have a cool shirt, you know? Check out my FU Amber Heard shirts. I think those are really cool, right? And if I'm ever nominated for a con award, I'll have to make sure that I wear my FU Amber Heard shirt. But yeah, those shirts were fucking ridiculous. I want you to know that. You all looked ridiculous. And of course, the sort of the timid way they were standing there, I mean, if you're going to wear a shirt like that, I guess you got to be out and proud, Yes, I am a ridiculous person. Do you like my shirt with Amber on it? Isn't she beautiful? Yes, queen. Those shirts were ridiculous. But anyway, that's fine. You just advertise for everyone that you're a ridiculous human being who either doesn't know and has not taken the time to know the actual story behind the Depp Heard stuff, or, you just lack discernment. Anyways, so so it was all all of this attention on this tiny little group of people, who were trying to get a little PR for their film that nobody cares about by wearing those stupid Amber Heard shirts, and the media acting like that was some great revelation. Oh my God, they're finally standing up. Someone's standing up to Mr. Depp and his PR machine. Oh, and then they were freaking out. The media were freaking out because there were literally 2 instances of graffiti at con. People had gone into the streets, some Amber Heard simp or whatever, and had put up a little graffiti condemning the Cannes Film Festival for supporting Depp, for giving Depp a forum. And there were I saw literally 2 pictures of 2 separate graffiti incidents, and that was meant to be representative of the whole, right? Because there were these write-ups, in the media of the population. There are people in France who are very upset about this, and you can see they're taking to the streets. They're like Banksy, and they're just filling up the streets with their protests. Come on. I saw 2 pictures, okay? And those t-shirts were just a ploy for attention. I don't think those people know, or care, or understand what's going on. I would like to make a line of t-shirts with quotes from the audio recordings, where Amber Heard is berating Johnny Depp. Yeah, I'd love a line of t-shirts just inspired by the best quotes from that Amber Heard Exorcist tape. Johnny, are you going to talk about Toronto again? I'm done talking about Toronto. That's just kind of how I think of Amber now. I think of her as Linda Blair from The Exorcist, when people go, whenever people, go into the room in that movie, and then it would just be like this of just like vomit coming out. I just kind of, that's how I feel when Amber starts talking. Anyway, especially on those tapes. It's like someone possessed at certain points. Anyway, okay, I digress. So the media, not content to try their hardest to ruin Johnny Depp, which they were unsuccessful at, and unsuccessful at deflating his epic Triumphant Con reappearance or appearance. Well, yeah, he's been to con before. Now they're after his daughter because LilyRoseDepp, and they've been on this for a bit. They've been on this for about a month or so, actually. This has been a story pushed primarily by Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone has effed up so many stories, particularly relating to MeToo and gender stuff. And all you have to do is go back to that University of Virginia complete hoax article. It's just so, and they're very, very anti-Depp, very anti-Marilyn Manson, no interest in any kind of counter opinion on any of that. But anyway, so Rolling Stone, a month or so ago, they put out an article talking about how troubled LilyRoseDepp's new series, The Idol on HBO is, and how troubled and also how troubling, because there's too much nudity. And there are depictions of sexuality that don't pass the MeToo test, apparently, right? There's some stuff that the Scolds, the pearl clutching puritanical Scolds, just don't approve of. We don't want to watch a show with imbalanced gender relations. From what I understand, the sexuality in the show, and I haven't seen it, and I understand it's edgy and it's Sam Levinson, and I've seen Euphoria and all that, right? So, I mean, I understand people are always going to be put off. There's going to be people who are put off by edgy sex. But the bemoaning of the depiction of sexuality in this film, I mean, it's about a troubled pop star who falls under the sway of a cult-like figure. So yes, I'm sure there's going to be some edgy, strange, dark, even negative depictions of sexuality, because it doesn't sound like a fairy tale, okay? And it doesn't sound like a rom-com. But that's okay. You know why? Because we are adults, and we can choose to watch something if we want, and we are adults, and so we can handle adult content without thinking that just because I see something happen with LilyRoseDepp or any other actor in a film that I need to go out and emulate that. But we've got these pearl clutchers now who think that we can't have anything in film or on TV that isn't safe and that isn't nice and isn't sort of wrapped up in this comfortable package. It was the same thing with the Dahmer series. Same thing months ago when the Dahmer series came out. Very, very well done. Thought it was great. And I thought it really got into a lot of really actually very deep issues. There's all this bemoaning. Oh my God, how dare we do a TV show about a serial killer, as if that's never been done before. As if we cannot ever contemplate the darkness of our world. And it's interesting to me how sexist a lot of the critiques regarding LilyRoseDepp are. The media, they're all Me Too and celebrate women, and I can do whatever I want with my body, and I can be sexual, and I can, get a sex change and whatever. But if LilyRoseDepp wants to be in a film, wants to be the star, by the way, this film is going to make her a giant star. No, she's already a celebrity, but a giant star. This is her first major starring role. This is going to be the centerpiece, along with The Weeknd, the centerpiece of this. And the media are trying to sabotage it, and they're trying to, and in so doing, they're also actually shaming her for the amount of nudity in the film. Now, they don't say that they're shaming her. They say, "Oh, it's the show, it's the show." But if you look at the headlines, what are the headlines saying? I just saw a few headlines earlier. LilyRoseDepp, she shows too much TNA basically in the film. You know, it's a form. It's like, it is a form of kind of slut shaming, not the, or I should say, it's a form of artistic shaming about depictions of certain types of sexuality. You know, it's not even like this role necessarily has anything to do with LilyRoseDepp or her sexuality, right? That's why it's called acting. But of course, these people, they can't discern when Johnny Depp is acting. They're like, I don't know why he's acting bored in the film. Well, geez, could it be because the actual King Louis XV was bored? That's a major element of the plot, actually, and it's why he ended up falling for Mai Wen's character, Jean de Berry, because he was bored in the life that he had been in for decades and decades and decades. Hello? So LilyRoseDepp does this really edgy, it sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, show about a woman who kind of loses her mind as a pop star and gets in way too deep with this really shady Rasputin-like character played by The Weeknd. And there's some edgy sexuality, and there's some aggressive sexuality, and maybe even there's some disturbing expressions of sexuality, and we just can't have that. Well, says who? I am so tired of the media gatekeepers and the Scolds and these new Puritans telling us what we can watch and what we can't, and that we only can watch safe things now. We're just going to think about the good side of sexuality and never the bad. And the good side of Hollywood and never the bad. Come on. It's a show about a pop star and a cult-like figure, and you're wanting it to be what? Daisies and puppy dogs? I just don't understand. But of course, that's not the point, is it? The point is to rag on Johnny Depp's daughter, and to rag on anyone, whether it's Johnny Depp's daughter or whether it's the people who have put together The Idol, the HBO show, or The Weeknd. It's to rag on anyone who steps outside of the Me Too orthodoxy. And where we are right now, culturally and politically, there are just so many expressions of opinion and artistic expressions that are being shut down by these people, these scolds, even though they are a minority. And we have got to start standing up against them. And I'm not just talking about the shit that Johnny Depp's daughter is getting, because look, she might go, let me say something. I think she's an incredible actress. I've thought she was an incredible actress since I saw The King. The King's one of my favorite movies, actually. And I thought she was incredible. She stole that movie basically, and she was at the very end. She was like the last 10 minutes or so. That was basically it for her. I know she was kind of in there once or twice throughout, but like her speaking role was like 10 minutes at the end, and it basically stole the whole thing. She may act like it doesn't bother her to get these kinds of media critiques, and I hope that she is strong enough and self-actualized enough, and I'm sure she was raised right to not let it bother her, and she knows that comes with the territory, right? Just like I know with the YouTube, right? Getting criticized comes with the territory, and yet I know that on some level it still bothers her that she has poured her heart and soul into this role. It sounds like it's something that she's completely devoted herself to. It is her big star break in terms of becoming a big star. And the media are just trying to rip it apart. Or they're trying to intentionally not understand it, I think. And I think when you look at the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, and you look at the number of positive reviews that The Idol has gotten so far, it's at 10%. That is ridiculous. That is low. That is lower than like some of the most lame, like dumb, low budget slasher films or whatever. That when you see that the critics have given something that low, something that we know has this much talent that has gone into it and this much care, and the critics give it a 10%, you know that something is amiss. You know that you are not looking at an artistically objective analysis or rating, but what you're looking at is something, you're looking at a political message, a political statement. And we know there have been a number of instances in the past several years where critics have intentionally downvoted and dissed a movie or a TV series because they didn't like the politics of it. And then you end up looking then at the audience score, and it's so much higher. And I predict that is what is going to happen for HBO's The Idol. And yes, of course, I understand it's controversial, it's edgy. They're trying to be controversial, they're trying to be edgy, they're trying to show the dark side of Hollywood, they're trying to show the dark side of life. I am tired of these kinds of media hits and cultural hits against people like LilyRoseDepp and against artists and filmmakers out of this narrow MeToo sensibility and this desire, this compulsion to quash anything or anyone who walks to the beat of a different drum. And all in the name of generally some soggy political perspectives that aren't going to get us anywhere but trouble. All right, everybody. As always, I appreciate you. I depend on your support. All of my links are below. And yeah, I appreciate everybody. Like, subscribe, donate, and I will see you later. And LilyRoseDepp, this is your moment. Enjoy the attention. Enjoy the limelight. You deserve it. I can't wait to see it.